Just before midnight, officers responded to shots fired near Forest and Grand Avenues. Then around 2 a.m., officers responded to another report of shots fired near 5th Street and Park Avenue. After responding to the first call, officers found 2 people with gunshot wounds. Officers say 18-year-old Nadria Wright died at the hospital. Police say 28-year-old Sam Baldwin, the fourth, had life-threatening injuries. Both are from Columbia. Near 5th Street and Park Avenue, officers say they learned someone had been shot and was taken to the hospital in a private vehicle. Later, officers learned 19-year-old Equan Spain of Columbia arrived at the hospital with a gunshot wound. Spain was pronounced dead. Today, I spent the day near the scene of the first shooting. I spoke to neighbors who say they saw it happen. Some say they're living in fear, hoping this was just an isolated incident.
3 Paulette, sending units emergency, Providence and Hudson.
Overnight,
I need medics for 2 people have been shot.
2 people shot, one of them killed, steps away from Ridgeway Elementary School. A car hit by gunfire, knocking over a power line during the chaos. Today, as the victims fight for their lives,
took everybody's words away.
Some are asking why.
We really didn't know what to do or what to say.
Why they have to feel
afraid to step on the front porch, smoke a cigarette or drink coffee or you get shot.
For some,
there was one about a month ago.
The feeling a little too familiar.
Right, it's just scary because I want to be able to walk and not get hurt in the process.
As the investigation continues, neighbors fearing the worst.
I'm afraid when a kid gets shot during school hours.
While hoping the worst has passed.
This year, Columbia has had 9 homicides, 4 of which have happened in this month alone. And that's not all the crime that has happened recently. KOMU 8's Spencer Humphrey takes a look back at crime in September.
September 2nd, police respond to a shooting on I-70 near Stadium Boulevard. Investigators said 18-year-old Demetrius Shaw fired shots from his car into another while driving on the interstate, hitting an adult and a child who survived with injuries. September 13th, someone shot and killed 18-year-old Columbia College freshman Nadria Wright while she was riding in a car. Wright recently graduated from Battle High School. Someone shot and severely injured another passenger in the car. About 2 hours later, police say someone shot and killed 19-year-old Equan Spain. At the time, police said there was no evidence this was related to the earlier shooting. September 18th, police say someone shot a 23-year-old man during a burglary. Police did not rule his death a homicide. September 19th, the community came together to remember shooting victim Nadria Wright. At that time, her brother described the 18-year-old college freshman as someone who only did good. On the 20th, police responded to shots fired on Apple Tree Court on the south side of town. There were no injuries. That same day, police arrested 28-year-old Michael Anderson for the September 14th killing of Equan Spain. The next day, there was another shots fired incident near McBain Avenue and Sexton Road. Police didn't believe it was related to other previous incidents. Sunday, there was a double homicide. Police say someone shot 36-year-old Antonio Houston and 33-year-old Danielle Marine in a home on McKee Street early in the morning. Then on Monday, another shots-fired incident just steps away from Sunday's double homicide. Police found more than a dozen shell casings. Neighbors reported bullets going through their walls, one barely missing a child. Spencer Humphrey, KOMU 8 News.
Hickam is the 6th person to die by gunfire in the past 2 weeks. 5 have been ruled homicides. KOMU 8 Spencer Humphrey is here in the studio with what court documents tell us.
Yeah, this has not been an easy month for many people in Columbia. Gun violence had already claimed the lives of multiple people before last night's deadly shooting. Yesterday, police named suspects in 2 of those cases. Today, I went through these court records, looking into their backgrounds and shining new light on what exactly police say they did.
Another day, another life cut short. Last night, someone shot and killed 23-year-old James Hickam on McBain Avenue. Police were back on the scene Thursday morning looking for evidence as another grieving family looked on. Hickam was the 6th person to die at the hand of a gun in Columbia this month. Authorities issued arrest warrants for suspects in 2 of the other deadly shootings yesterday.
We have a warrant for Javion Marte Wallace Lawhorn, charged with 1 count of murder in the 2nd degree.
Lawhorn is charged in connection with the September 13th shooting death of 18-year-old Nadria Wright. Court documents reveal Wright was in a car when she was shot, and Lawhorn was on opposing sides of a feud with a passenger in that car. The records show Lawhorn has been in and out of prison dating back as far as 2007. He's been convicted of crimes including unlawful use of a weapon, armed criminal action, and assault.
Aaron Harris, a.k.a. Pooh Bear, charged with 1 count of murder second degree and 1 count of unlawful use of a weapon in relation to the death of Equan Spain.
Court documents reveal 19-year-old Spain was a passenger in a car Harris was driving when he was killed on September 14th. Documents say another passenger, Michael Anderson, shot Spain in the back seat. Police arrested Anderson on Friday. Yesterday, police were still searching for suspects in the other deadly shootings, including Sunday's double homicide in North Columbia.
We currently do not have any solid leads in the homicides of Antonio Houston and Danielle Marine.
Today, they have one more added to that list.
It's been a deadly month in Columbia. 6 people, including teenagers, killed by gunfire, a 17-year-old girl hit and killed by a car, and a college volleyball player dying after falling from a ladder. Columbia's Restoration of Life Ministry held a vigil today near the scene of some of those deadly shootings. I was there this afternoon as church members, neighbors, and friends tried to make sense out of those senseless deaths.
It was helpful. It was really helpful. It was a sweet spirit about Columbia. Well, now everybody's mad. They're mad, you know.
I don't understand this anger. I don't understand this hatred. That just makes it so easy.
Yeah.
They're numb.
The heat is on.
Now I'm afraid to even go for walks, even short ones. Because I'm worried about something's going to happen and I'm going to get stuck in the middle of it.
There's some of the individuals that are involved with all this have beautiful babies.
Yes.
Kids are so beautiful, and I do not understand for the life of me how you can just give your life up because you're so angry at somebody else.
What's going on, love? How's the married life? We don't teach kids about death. We're scared to teach them about death. We won't tell them somebody died.
Like my son said the other day, he said, it seemed like it's a dark cloud over Columbia. Yeah. What are you scared of? If you're man enough or woman enough to take and pull the trigger on a gun and think that makes you a man, that's not a character of a man, it's not even a character of a human.
I'm blessed, how are you? Put your guns down.
Amen.
Put your guns down.
Put your guns down.
Behind us, a beautiful view of downtown Columbia. But in certain neighborhoods, an unprecedented rise in homicides, 5 in the month of September alone.
It has sparked many conversations with people asking, why is this happening and how do we stop it? But before we can get to that, we wanted to look back at how we got here to a month full of deadly shootings.
County units to respond. Shots fired with victims at Sexton.
The past month in Columbia has been tragic. No other way to put it, just tragic.
Fill in the blank.
Depressing.
The past month in Columbia has been
sad.
Getting multiple calls, possibly 5 shots fired.
The past month in Columbia, if I had to give it one word, it'd be disrespectful. To me, it's something that can be walked away from.
During the past month, officers have responded to 6 gun-related deaths, 5 ruled homicides.
Male subject down in the yard.
Like my son said the other day, he said, it seemed like it's a dark cloud over Columbia.
Actually, we have 2 down, 1 black male, 1 black female.
5 lives lost to gun violence.
She was the kindest person
5 families hurting.
that I knew.
All in the past month.
It's been a heartbreak. The last month in Columbia, it's been a heartbreak.
We do have reports of victims.
September 2019 started with gunfire. On the 2nd, shots along I-70 injured 2, including a child.
It's like, it's just, the whole thing is disrespectful.
3 Paulette, sending units emergency, Providence and Hudson.
The first homicide of the month happened just before midnight on the 13th.
I need medics for 2 people who've been shot.
When 18-year-old Nadria Wright was shot while riding in a car. She later died in the hospital.
People need to speak up if they know something and say something.
For the recent Battle High graduate's mother,
I think the last month in Columbia has been like a horror story. People are getting murdered, innocent people, young people.
About 2 hours after Wright was shot, there was more gunfire.
Shots fired.
This time at Park Avenue and 5th Street. Officers confirmed homicide number 2 took the life of Equan Spain.
The last month in Columbia has been very depressing. The violence, the murdering, the killings that have taken place.
We're back. Shots heard in the area of Rice and McKee. Multiple calls.
Not quite a week after Spain's death, and the month became more deadly. Columbia police responded to shots fired on Rice Road and McKee Street. There, officers found Daniel Marine and Antonio Houston shot in a front lawn.
We got CPR on both subjects.
They both died.
Police are tired of it. Our community is tired of it. I do want people to understand that it's not a random act and that we are working on them and we are making arrests.
At this point in September, the city and police asked for help.
So if you know something, please say something. We have families present, we have families who are watching, and they're all suffering. We have a responsibility as a community, not just as the police, to police this issue. And we owe it to them, we owe it to ourselves to say something.
The same night of this plea, another homicide.
One victim is at McBain and Dean.
Number 5, James Hickam.
Show some kind of humanity. When people are grieving, people are hurt.
The last month in Columbia has been really hell.
Of the 10 homicides so far in 2019, 5 happened in September. The deadly shootings have evoked a range of emotions for community members, from sadness to fear.
The last month, the last few weeks in Columbia has been a nightmare.
This woman was too afraid to show us her face on camera.
And nobody's really ready to die, and this is basically what I see is happening. If you talk, you die. These kids don't have a clue. They need God in their lives. They need to put down the guns and pick up a Bible.
Others are frustrated by a month that's been
disturbing. It's unfortunate. Once you've lost that person, you never get them back again. And I think that our young people that's involved in these senseless acts are not really thinking these things through, that this is final.
And they did that.
And some neighbors are outraged.
Sat around with the bull of these people killing us for no reason. If you want to fight, go to the service, sign up, volunteer. But stop the killing. Stop filling up these penitentiaries over. It don't even matter.
The past month in Columbia has been
often, I can't say that, crazy.
Copy CPR, both subjects, 316.
The last month in Columbia has been very crazy.
About 6 shots.
Very dangerous.
Need two medics.
Very stressful.
About shots fired at 8th and Park.
Very scary.
The question now is, what will the city become?
We can overcome this, you know, as a whole, as a community.
Let's fill in the blank.
My faith in God.
Together.
My faith in God that one day that we will have peace again.